Aloha and welcome to the demonstration video for our IT 310 project. The title for our project is Computer Usage in Labs from 2023 to 2025 and we're submitting version 7.0. Our group members is Itanoa, Deepika, Laihawk and Grace. Page 2 kind of gives a little bit description of the major changes and implementations that were made for the different versions of our project. I will take us to our project proposal. So basically our project proposal, we were very blessed to have Noah, who is in our group. She works for IT and she was able to get data on lab usage. And one thing that I must mention is that all the user profiles that were student records that we have were first hashed. She hashed them for privacy reasons, and this fulfills one of the core pillars in a well-structured AWS architectural design, which is security. The privacy of students have been maintained, and through hashing, our data sets both have that done. So basically this data set, one is on lab stats login sessions and our second data set is application. What happens is when a student rents out a computer, once they log in, it records their starting and ending time, the login session, and then it also shows the different applications that they use, the computers, and the group of computers that this belongs to. And the same, almost the same for lab login sessions. And that's our data set. So we took that data set, we put it into AWS, and we cleaned it up, organized it, and then we got it running through Athena for queries, where we queried to try and find trends, relationships, and try and draw some conclusion. The problem that we're trying to solve in our project is mainly to address critical issues of inefficiency and see if there's any other practical issue that could benefit the school and also the students. Our BYOD model, Bio-Owned Device model, is what we're hoping that the school might transition to or can transition to through our project. And that will help the school cut down on costs in terms of licensing. And our project, through the application data, we're able to see which application softwares are used most and which are underused. That way, if the school moves into the BYU-OD model, we can look into cloud infrastructure as well. Moving on to architectural design, this was the original architectural design that we had. And then as we continued with the project, we saw that changes were happening, and this is the one that we finally settled with. With this, our implemented design, we learned that IAM role was going to be used. We're going to use the default method, and you can see that our other core pillars that we made sure was performance efficiency, which is through the use of S3 bucket, Glue, and Athena, and reliability, like we mentioned, how the data is being cleaned up, processed, and easy to use as we run it through Glue and Athena. And then security, I already mentioned earlier. And then the last one is cost efficiency. This is only going to be used on demand, so that kind of helps with cost optimization. Now we'll go into our guided lab. So for our guided lab, basically we had one database created, which is the BYU usage data. We had two crawlers, one to crawl through the applications data and logins. We had our S3 bucket. In our guided lab, as you can see over here, step 1, you will have to create S3 buckets, and in total you will create 3 S3 buckets. The reason why for 3 is one is where we're uploading our applications data, one for our logins, and the third one is where our query results, where we're going to store all the processed queries that we run through Athena. Sorry, for this fourth one, testing, this is the one our group used while we were making test runs for our lab. And let me see, let us run one query. So before we run our queries, I just wanted to show where our guided lab is, which is, it starts from page 11 of our document, and I'll take us right to our Athena. So we're gonna first run just a few of our queries, and this one shows the lab usage, application usage for the year 2024. We're gonna run that, and you can see application count in descending order, highest to lowest. We also have lab usage for 2023, and this is the code. Now the query is running, and you can see how many times labs were used for McKay, Hale, media, laptops, and so forth. And I'll run one more query. This is to show 2024 lab usage. And then you can see that as well happening, and this one is in ascending order, lowest to highest. So for our guided lab, we have 4 tasks. Task 1 is preparing the CSV file in S3 bucket, and overall you'll have 3 buckets as mentioned earlier. We have task 2, configuring AWS glue crawler, and we also have our steps are quite thorough. You'll also have step 3, task 3, creating a table by using Athena, and you have that as well here. And then task 4 is creating queries for decision making through Athena, and also using Tableau for visual data. As mentioned earlier, our initial architectural design, we thought we were going to use QuickSight, but then we ended up using Tableau, and we chose 3 different codes, 3 different queries from all the queries that we have, and we used that to generate our charts in our dashboard. So from the charts that we have uploaded in our document, I will focus on this chart right here, total labs and count login, the comparison between 2023 and 2024. As you can see, what we drew from this chart is that there is a overall decrease of 22.37% of lab usage, and this is most likely as we know that the testing center had closed, and probably we think that the students might have started to use personal laptops instead of borrowing media ones. So our team overall through the project recommends that the school can try moving into the BYOD model that we proposed in the beginning of our project, and that is to offer loan laptops preloaded with essential software. And from the results that we see in our application software, we can tell which applications are most used by students and which are used least by students. And this way, especially our international students can go home with a laptop of their own, and overall for the school benefit, we are able to reduce the long-term costs of lab maintenance and licensing. To conclude, our individual group members also put down the insights that we had for each of our as we all went through the project, as you can see, and this is what things should look like for a student if they are to run or carry out this lab. And our timesheets are also filled out here, and that is all from our group. Thank you so much. Happy summer.